friends, MD Vegan with a tangerine salad today. That was my idea. I remembered the tangerine tins that we had when I was little. I would open them with my brother or alone on my own when the parents were away. We opened a tin of box of tangerines, and they were only fillets, very tender, and they just tangerines. They had a little bit of sugar, I guess, in that, and water. Of course, not very healthy. All the things they had, I don't know what it was. We loved it. We ate them as is, and recently it came to my mind, why don't you make a tangerine salad? That would be so nice. Remember the salad when you were little. Well, I know these tangerines are fresh, and they don't have not only fillets. That would be a huge amount of work to fillet them. So I cut them into small pieces here, the veggies here, and here is the the flesh. And when you have these small pieces, you have a lot of flesh, and they are tender by that. Yeah? I mean, they are juicy and fresh. You have beautiful tangerines now in the shops and the grocery stores. So I thought they're not very expensive, and they have a wonderful flavor, very special flavor. And I want to make a recipe with that. So I have the tangerines. I thought that the first thing I make. And so what to use, how to make a salad with that, so that the tangerine is in the forefront, is the main part today. So I cannot have a very heavy dressing, that pulls over the tangerine, and for example cashew nuts or something that's very creamy, and the tangerine, where is the tangerine then, and all that nut. So tangerine is very light and has a very sweet and very delicate flavor. So I have to do something very nice and light around it, but it still has to be, I should be something a little substantial. So I thought a nice idea would be to take a persimmon that is the same color, it's orange, and this is a ripe persimmon. Here you see these, when the persimmon has this color here, this color, like a gel, then it's ripe. And here is some spaces, some pieces of the persimmon that are not that ripe yet. Here, this is a yellow, and this is very ripe. But this is nice when they are like that. The persimmons are almost liquid, have a wonderful sweet flavor. I get some of the persimmons, store them at home, and wait weeks sometimes, maybe a month or so, until they're really ripe, and then I use them. And there are two main different kinds of persimmons. Ones have the tannin, that is a tart, bitter peel, and the others are sweet, and you can eat the peel. So I have, fortunately, in the shop where I go shopping, I have the ones with the sweet peel. If you have the tart ones, you can just peel them. That's a little bit more work, but I prefer, of course, the other ones without the tannin, sweet from the beginning. Yeah, I was once fooled by that. I went to the supermarket, got some some persimmons, and then I found out, oh, that's so bitter, I have to peel them. I didn't get them anymore. And I read about it, and I thought, oh, that's what the reason is. It's a normal thing. They are just fruit with a different kind of flavor. The same fruit with different species. So, okay, now I get the right persimmons for my flavor. If you find persimmons, take them anyway, because they're one of the best fruits in the world. They come from South Asia, and they are very, very nutritious. A persimmon can be eaten by itself, and you are completely full. They are wonderful, really. And the gentle flavor makes them even more precious to me. And they have been the object of meditation even by Zen monks. Really, that's the first time when I saw persimmons on a painting, on a black and white painting with ink. 3 persimmons, that is famous Zen painting from hundreds of years ago. I guess it was in Japan. And it's a very famous painting in the art world. There, I didn't know what it was, the persimmon. Now I know what persimmon is. They have made their journey all around the planet. They're everywhere because they're such great fruit. And what I do is I blend the persimmon with, tangerines again. Here they come into the play again. And the tangerine make the persimmon, when they are blended, a little bit runnier because they are so tender. And the persimmons are, when you blend these almost runny persimmons up, they turn to a pudding, into a gel almost. Something very funny with the persimmons. When they are runny and you blend them, they turn into pudding. That's amazing. You can do so much with persimmons. Yeah, you have to find out more. In other countries where they use a lot of persimmons, they know these things perhaps. I don't know them. I have to find out now for myself. So now when I put the persimmon, a tangerine into persimmon blended, it gets runnier. When I put an orange into persimmon, it gets thick because the orange also turns into a gel when you blend it. Not as much as a persimmon. The persimmon is really maximum gel-like and is super for many purposes. But the orange also, because of the pectin, that is it's a fiber, I guess. The pectin, it is a thickener used in the food industry too, like gels puddings up and so. And it's also in the orange. It's very healthy. But that is not so much in the tangerine, I guess. It is more tender and it makes it runnier. So I use that now for the persimmon to blend it and to make it in a creamy dressing. And I put some of the ginger into it. I have a small amount of ginger. I found out in an early recipe that the combination of tangerine and persimmon, perfect by itself, gets even nicer with a little bit of ginger. Try that now as a dressing for my grape and for my Tangerine salad. And I have another ingredient I'll show you in a moment, the grape, but I'll show you later. So now blender dance for my tangerine persimmon cream. I like these easy recipes where one ingredient is in the center and everything else around makes it a little bit more nicer. That's what cooking to me is about. Yeah. Making the ingredients a little bit nicer. Otherwise I could eat the ingredients by themselves, right? And I know no point in cooking them. Just an apple, you know. It's hard to make an apple better. Just eat the apple. Well, applesauce there, that gets interesting there, but yeah. So now I have my tangerine persimmon cream. It looks beautiful, the color is beautiful. The fragrance, I smell the ginger. It gets immediately predominant because it's such a strong flavor, and these ingredients, the persimmon and the tangerine, are so tender and they're very delicate. But the ginger, a smallest amount, should make it nice, but the flavor is, the fragrance is really strong from the ginger. Let's taste it. If it's nice or if it's too much or whatever, let's see. Oh, so good. You could use without ginger, but the ginger gives it a nice little twist. And it's a small amount of ginger, as I said, and it gives it a nice little twist to make these two ingredients, the persimmon and the tangerine, a little, it gets a little bite, yeah, like a dressing should. A dressing can be a background for something, or it can add a little twist also to the ingredients you use, the main ingredients. So now I show you my main ingredients. There is a tangerine again, and I have the same amount of grapes. Yeah? And I mean, that's the first thought I had when I wanted to combine something with the tangerine. I could use it by themselves here, but I thought, well, the second one, it makes it always a little bit more interesting. So yes, I went for a second ingredient, and the third part is then my dressing. So the tangerines cut in small pieces to make it tender, and now the grapes also cut into pieces to make it also similar from the texture. So when you have similar textures, the ingredients get a little bit closer. They combine easier, and when you eat it, you enjoy it, you have more the feeling of oneness. And that's what I want to achieve usually. I want to have a feeling, one new experience, one whole holistic flavor and experience in my mouth. And so that's why we cut things, I would say, to make this experience possible. There are many ways to do that. Of course, here it is making it similar, more similar. So I guess I would do one more blending. I I don't need water here because the tangerines make it a little bit runnier, but also there is this gel effect. I'll show you in a moment. One more blending shortly. Just to give a little creamier texture, yeah, I'll show you in a moment what I'm talking about. And then you see this beautiful orange color from the persimmon and the tangerine. It's a wonderful combination. I would say it's a perfect combination. You see, it's runny enough. There is a little creaminess, but it's really a light cream. It's not heavy. There's no nut in there. It's very light. And still it has a little bite from the ginger. As I said, not too much ginger, just the smallest amount. Makes a nice effect because ingredients in here also the tangerine and the persimmon, they have also a very gentle flavor. So not too much ginger. But a little bit makes it really nice. So I put all together, stir it around, and there it looks like, well, a little bit, the memory comes again from my early childhood experience when we had these terrible tins with tender and fillets. Yeah. Now it's a little bit like that. It's of course a whole different world now. My food now is whole food, plant-based, and then raw oftentimes here. So it's such a different world from what I ate before. but it's, I think I feel inspired by what I had at that time. I have nice memories from my food when I was little. Always loved cooking and food by itself, in general I love food always. We had a nice family life around the food, pretty much focused on food. What we did together was eating mostly. A vacation too, but eating was every day together in family. So I have a nice relationship to food. That's why I like cooking so much. Has nice memories. And here, I'm inspired by that. And look at this, isn't it beautiful? It's an inspiration from my early childhood memory with the tangerines. Yeah, I enjoy right away. It's a dessert. I would say it's not very heavy, but I don't know. The persimmon makes everything a little bit more keeping. The tangerine is, I don't know how to describe it in terms of nutrition. I don't know. I don't know if it's very keeping. I don't know, but maybe it's more dessert than a breakfast. But I also can have two meals at a time. I can use one meal. For example, I can make a green salad, a nice one, like a starter, and then I can make a fruit salad like this one. And have a little bit earlier or a little bit later. It's also a completion. Yeah. There are many ways to have enough food in a part of a day. Many ways. One meal, two meals, two small meals or something. So many ways. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. If you like my videos, subscribe MD Vegan on YouTube. Have another recipe every single day. And find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter.